Well, to discuss this, I'm joined now from Paris by Alexis Poulin. He is an EU affairs analyst and the founder of the Modern World News website. Good to have you on the Newsmakers, Alexis. For those of us looking at it from the outside, is this only about fuel prices and the fuel tax, or is there something deeper at play for those protesters?
I think it's deeper than that. The oil tax was the sparkle that made it all start. It's mainly the fear of the middle class going towards more poverty and fearing for the future of their kids. You've heard in the few images that you've shown that it's all about saying that we are losing buying power, we're not sure about the future, and we're paying a lot of taxes for public services that are not there. So the question is, why are we paying for? And the other main issue is saying, why is it always the same people paying for the others? Here what you have is that a lot of people in the streets, I've never been in the streets before, and they are protesting against the fact that the elites or the people like Emmanuel Macron and his government are not listening to them. And whenever they are voting, most of them actually don't vote anymore, or when they vote, they protest vote. And now they want to be heard, they want things to change, and the only thing that they are left to act is going on the pavement, saying, here we are, and we want now to be listened to.
Mm-hmm. And it's interesting, right, that for a centrist president, he's got protesters from both sides of the political spectrum, on the right and the left. Is that going to make it more likely that he and the Prime Minister, Edouard Philippe, are going to blink and are going to maybe, I don't know, take this policy away and rethink it?
So far, it's not the road that they've chosen. Edouard Philippe, the Prime Minister, was on TV on Sunday night and said that we'll keep on the same direction. This is the right thing to do, and we won't get rid of the tax on oil, because that's the plan. That was our program. We've been elected for that, so we'll keep on doing this. In the French island of La Réunion, there have been massive protests going up to riots, and the answer this morning from the president was, I will send the army. So the route that the French leaders are taking is basically saying we'll use violence to stop the protest. It's not that we'll stop and listen. Also, they say on TV, on radio, that they are listening, that they understand that there are anger and that people have fear for the future. But the answer is more policemen and army to stop the riots and the unrest. It's not about listening and going back on the oil prices.
Right. And as we were discussing about covering this story, we were joking in the newsroom that it's breaking news in France when people are not protesting, usually. So you have a protest culture in your country. There's definitely, it's part of the DNA, right? But how different is this one compared to other protests? Is there a dangerous aspect to this, that this could get uglier?
Yeah, I think yeah, as you said, we have this protest culture. Back to the myth of the French Revolution. We like this idea of doing a revolution every year or so. We have Mai 68 in 1968. And I think what's different this time compared to protests that we've seen in the past is that neither the big political parties or the unions or association are part of it. It's clearly something that came out of thin air. People saying, oh, enough is enough. I'll start it with a hashtag on social networks and we'll see who's coming. And the problem is that the unions, so far have said, it's unclear what these people want, so we can't join in and organize the movement. The political parties are looking and saying, apart from right-wing Front National or Rassemblement pour la France parties, or Jean-Luc Mélenchon from France Insoumise saying, we'll watch closely because these people are from the more modest people, and we have to listen to them. But apart from that, you don't have an organization, and that's what actually the power is fearing, is that it can't be organized. It's very difficult to find an interlocutor, someone to talk to, so they don't know how to react. They don't know who to talk to. They don't know what to do to make this framed.
Right, and yeah, and of course on a place like Reunion Island, the context is very different to some of the massive cities on the mainland, right? So that makes it all the more complicated. Alexis, I've got to move on, but I look forward to having you back on the Newsmakers. Thanks so much for giving us a deeper insight into what's going on in France at the moment.